Hi guys, just doing a quick review on Lucifer Season 5 Part 2. What we waited so long for because, of the coronavirus situation. So I'm just going straight into spoilers, so yeah, spoilers. Because yeah, I just don't want it to be too long of a review, just a quick one, yeah. Because basically, Part 1 ended with us seeing God, and I was wondering, like, what are they going to do with that storyline as well? So basically, he comes back to see his kids, and I guess wants to have, like, a family dinner, but since Lucifer doesn't really get on with his dad and blames him for a lot of things, casting him out of, heaven, having to rule hell. Yeah, he blames his father for a lot of things. I guess a meta deal would be like his favorite son, and then Michael. I guess he's like the most mischievous one, but he still was around the dad probably the most out of all the kids, though, I think. Yeah. And that's because it seems like he was planning to do something to get rid of God so he could become God, Michael becoming God. Yeah. Because I think he does something to make the father think that there's something wrong with him. Because basically, after that intense dinner scene, yeah, the father starts to say that there's something wrong with him and he might be stepping down as God, the ruler of everything. Also, everyone finding out about, God, apart from everyone finding out about Lucifer in the previous parts, because Dan, he was still new to finding out that Lucifer was the devil, because I think that was like in part 1 of season 5 when Dan finds out and shoots Lucifer. I mean, when Chloe found out, like, she tried to poison Lucifer with that priest guy, yeah, and we all knew how that went. Yeah. But yeah, this was a good second half. Like, near the end, things got really crazy. Like, Jesus, everything that happened. And I'll talk about specifics when I talk about the end. I'm just going to talk about, the rest of the God storyline, because that goes on for like 4 or 5 episodes, I think. Yeah. Because, yeah, like I said, God wanted to step down because he doesn't. He doesn't want to be God anymore, I guess. Or I don't know if, like, he actually listened to Michael about him feeling ill and that's why he wants to step down. But we see that he wants to see his wife again because that actually is a way for him to see his wife again. Also, Dan was kinda with his wife, yeah. And it's like a scene where Dan's talking to God because just finding about Lucifer actually being Lucifer and then meeting God at the same time, like, then thinking like, damn, he thinks he's gonna go to hell, and yeah, we'll get back to that. And then when he meets God, he's trying to be nice to God because he basically was with God's wife, which, to think that he was with God's wife, Jesus, and how God must feel about that. And then it's like a scene where he actually, like, Dan gets killed by God, but then he kind of reverses time so he didn't die. Like, like Jesus. Also, when God's around, I guess his special ability is to make people dance and happy, I guess. It's kind of weird. And only people who are like angels or, in that kind of variety would realize what God's doing. Yeah. So we got to see a lot of dance numbers in this season. Some of them because of God, some of them because they just want to dance, I guess. Because I guess that's God's power. Like with Lucifer, he can, find out people's desires. What can Michael do again? Because I can't remember. But yeah, because, Michael's trying to take the throne. And then it gets to a point where Lucifer wants to take the throne because of, not being worthy of Chloe. And I know that's what she doesn't really want. But yeah, basically God goes over to basically another universe where his wife is and leaves them to decide who should be the next god out of Michael and Lucifer. So for the rest of the season, they're just battling to, who becomes God, basically, trying to make all the other angels pick their side. So Emmy, I guess Amenadiel's sister, is kind of on Lucifer's side because Michael's doing things, like very bad things, to get what he wants, even killing other angels, and things get as bad where a huge character dies as well. I'm just going to say it, Daniel, because Daniel dies. I mean, there's some things that happen, before then. Like with Lucifer trying to, basically Lucifer getting revenge on Daniel for shooting him. Making this fake situation happen. Like, that was a funny episode, but yeah. then when we go back to something that's actually proper serious, Dan gets killed. And it's funny that he gets killed by someone who was a god in another show, supernatural. But yeah, I'm not going to say the person's name, but yeah. Basically some Russian guy that Dan went after. And it was kind of like set up by Michael, so technically Michael killed Dan. And, basically Daniel has a lot of, guilt, so once he died, he went to hell instead of going to heaven, and he was kind of scared that he was thinking that he was going to go to hell, and then when it actually happens, damn, that's just messed up. Also, the stuff with Ella as well, like, damn, she has a lot of demons. I mean, she went through a lot in season 5 with that boyfriend being a serial killer, and then just getting to see more of how Ella actually thinks, not just all the darkness that she has. Also, that scene when God's talking to her to make her feel better. Man, do a lot of stuff with Ella in this season. Because all that time when we see her just, being the funny character, like, she's actually going through a lot of darkness. It's like she hides it with, I guess, that comedy, I guess. So yeah, her character has a lot of layers that we're actually seeing now. Because when I first started watching the show, like, she was just like that character who, would have the best jokes and stuff, and just the character that would make the show more fun. But now we're just seeing so many layers to her recently. Yeah. Just all that darkness she's going through, damn. And how she's, truly believing in God to help her find the way, yeah. Because there's a lot of times where she's just like, why is she still here? And when people that she cares about start to leave, because I guess maybe Chloe and Lucifer were going to go to heaven together, but then, she can't really leave Trixie. And then the situation happens when, Dan dies, and then, seeing Trixie's reaction, damn. Yeah. I guess I do some okay things with Trixie in this season. It's just that the emotional stuff, though, damn. And when they nearly killed Chloe as well at the end, when Michael kills Chloe, Jesus Christ, just things were escalating a lot. I was like, wow, this is really happening. Even gets to a moment where it looks like they're going to kill off Lucifer too, but, they can't really do that if there's going to be... Because I've heard there's going to be one more season. So, yeah. Just, like, the last 3 episodes truly felt like, man, this show's feel like, it's going to end soon. Like, it's getting to that point. Especially killing off Dan. Like, that's just crazy. Oh, yeah, the stuff with Linda, I didn't really address that, like... Because in the previous season, they talked about Linda having, like, a daughter that she abandoned... Well, she didn't... I mean, I don't want to put it in that kind of words, but basically she gave her baby up for adoption because she wasn't ready to be, like, to have a child. But then we actually get to see the child in this season, and let's just say that the child is in a lot of problems because I guess she's trying to save her foster mother, but she kind of gets in a situation where it could put her mother in danger because someone kind of threatens her mother. So Linda and, the others just try to help, her daughter, which they do. And yeah, it's good that, Linda finally got to meet her actual daughter. That was a nice moment. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of great moments in this season. Oh yeah, even Mezakine, like, she actually seems like she's getting a soul in this season because that moment when she was trying to kill God, and then God says that, she can actually basically grow a soul because she's like a demon, and a demon having a soul, yeah. Because, like, she goes through so much in this season with emotions that she's never experienced before. Especially when Eve comes back, trying to be with her. But then, like, Eve's kind of scared. Well, Mezakine's kind of scared that, Eve could die. So she kind of gives Eve this immortal, wing. So she never dies, but, she doesn't want to live forever, basically. She just wants to die naturally when the time, comes. And, since Mezakine's kind of not used to emotions, that's kind of hard for her to, accept. So she gets to a point where maybe she'd want to rule hell. So she doesn't have to feel emotions because, experiencing pain for her, it's a bit too much. She doesn't understand, like, what pain actually does, because not having no pain at all doesn't really make you human, I guess. Even when you lose people, which, it's hard, but yeah. She learns to accept, like, what it actually is to be human. And yeah, when Dan dies, yeah, Jesus. Like, that's where she's like, man, why does pain exist? But But then, you know, actually having someone to lose in the first place is, you know, that's better to have than, you know, not having anyone at all, because you're not truly living and you never really had anyone. Like, I mean, that's how one of the characters explained it anyway, but yeah. When Linda and, you know, Amenadiel are talking to her. But yeah, Emmy, yeah, she kind of comes back, like I said, to, you know, support Lucifer when it comes to, you know, Lucifer or Michael becoming God. But then I guess Emmy gets killed because she was like an inside person to find out what Michael's doing. There's also one of the other people who side with Lucifer because he kind of reveals his true feelings, and when it gets to the final moments, like he kind of kind of changes the meaning of it, and yeah, because basically, like I said, Lucifer's doing this to, you know, show that he's worthy for Chloe, but then like I guess the angel who's backing him up kind of says it in a different way, where he's doing it because he loves everyone, something like that. But yeah, it gets to a point where instead of, you know, having like a full war, they basically have like a gladiator battle. Like with Lucifer and Michael, they basically fight each other, and whoever wins becomes God, I guess. Yeah. But so basically, Chloe kind of gets killed by Michael, and then, you know, Lucifer goes to heaven to get her back, and we actually get to see Chloe with her dad again, which was a nice scene. But yeah, Chloe, knowing that she has Trixie and a lot of her other friends and, you know, other important things to do, you know, they're still like something that she needs to, you know, do on Earth, so she decides to go back. Yeah. And it seems like Lucifer kind of dies so she can go back. But then when he dies, he becomes God. And I think it's because of the reason why he died, why he became God. He was willing to die to save the person that he loved. Yeah. And that's when he basically becomes God. He comes back to Earth, you know. Instead of killing Michael, he just takes away his wins. So in a way, but he kind of becomes Lucifer. Michael becoming Lucifer. Makes sense, I guess. And Lucifer, someone who was the king of hell, becoming God. Man, just to think that. I don't even know if something like that happens on Supernatural. So yeah. I mean, because I still haven't watched season 15 yet. I still need to finish that. But yeah, I guess that's how it ends anyway. And we'll see where that goes going into the next season. And if they can bring like a lot of the characters that died in the season back, especially Dan. But yeah. Also, there's one more thing. So you know that guy who, you know, who always steals things. Like, we actually got to see him in heaven, and Lucifer in a way kind of helped him, because he kind of helped him accept his guilt. Well, try to basically move on from his guilt, you know, because of the family problems that he had, and he was able to go into heaven. So even if you're in hell, you can go to heaven. Like, yeah, that's still strange to think about, but even Lucifer was surprised. So yeah, so maybe Dan can actually do the same thing, and he can at least go to heaven if he's not going to come back to life. That's what I want to see with Dan. Yeah, I want to see him, you know, get out of hell and go to heaven, because, you know, things don't really end that great for Dan. So yeah, and that's about it. That's my thoughts on Lucifer Season 5 Part 2. We'll see what they do with Season 6. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.